Hi folks, how are we doing? So I had the tank off my Scrambler recently and I noticed something really concerning. Now let's get this straight from the outset. This is completely my fault. It's nothing to do with the manufacturer, the dealer or anything like that there. It's a mistake that I've made in the past and it's caused actually quite a dangerous situation with the bike. I'm going to show it to you in a second, but what I did was whenever I've put the tank back on at some point, I've kind of like nipped or creased the fuel line, and now what's happened is we've got a kink in the fuel line. If I don't do anything about it, eventually it's probably going to split, start leaking petrol all over a hot engine, and that could just be completely catastrophic. I mean, that could be the end of the bike. The whole thing would just go on fire, and yeah. So obviously needs replaced urgently. So what we're going to do today is do exactly that. We're going to get the seat off, we're going to get the tank off, and I've got a new fuel line that we're going to get onto the bike. Yeah, so let's get stuck in and get that sorted. It's funny, you know, I remember the first time I took the tank off this bike, and because I'd never done anything like that before, I was totally terrified of doing it. It was a really scary thing, and it was like, oh, I don't know whether I should do this, will I be able to get it back on? And now that I've done it a few times, you know, it's just kind of second nature now. You just do it without thinking twice, and you know, that's just the way of things, isn't it? Everything seems difficult until you actually do it, and then it's often a lot easier than you'd ever think. So that's the seat off, and then we've just got a little bolt here that keeps the tank on. Oh crap, I dropped the nut. Hopefully be able to fish that out in a second. Yeah, so let's kind of get the camera moved around this direction now. Yeah, so we've just taken this bolt out from the bottom here. The little nut's gone down in there, and there it is. Hopefully we'll be able to get that. There we go. Happy days. And then we can lift the tank up here. Said this was second nature. I've almost forgotten how it works now. You lift the tank off here, and we can hopefully see the problem is with this particular line here, and see that little kink in it there. I'll bring that camera over so you can see it really well. That little kink there. If I don't do anything about that, this is a really stiff wire, and like eventually it's going to get a little hole in there. And I mean, can you imagine what would happen if it just started leaking petrol over the hot engine? So we need to take that off, obviously. To do that, we're going to have to remove the tank completely and move it over there. Try not to spill any petrol while we're doing this. So we're just going to take off the bleeder pipes first of all. These are just held on with a little clip. So I'll move that clip down and yank them off. That's great. The fuel line then has got like a little switch on it, so it automatically cuts off the fuel, which is really cool, really convenient. That's it there. And then we've got this little electronic thing, which I don't know what, presumably that's for like measuring how much fuel you've got in your tank or something. And just get that removed there. Okay, and there's the tank off, and we'll put this somewhere safe. It's always good if you're doing anything with the fuel tank, especially. It's always good to have some kitchen roll handy, because you know there probably is going to be some fuel that's going to spill out of this. We don't want that going everywhere. So yeah. And now if we look down in here, this is our fuel line, and some of the stuff out of the way, and it connects here. Now all we need to do is replace this little short piece from here to here. Doesn't look too complicated, to be honest. There is one of those Torx nuts things we're going to have to remove. So yeah, luckily I've got just the tool. Okay, that goes in there. A little bit awkward to get at. Oh, I see the fuel just flicking out of that there. I don't know whether you saw that, but yeah, getting petrol all over the place. Okay, and I think this just kind of pulls off. It's got a little clip or something. Oh, there we go. So that pulls out. We'll save that screw for later. I'll just pop it in the pocket. And then how does this even work? Let me check out the new one. So yeah, this is the new one. Bought from the dealer, so it should be the official Triumph part, hopefully. And then, so it's just that bit. That must clip off somehow. See, there's the fuel leaking out there. That's exactly why you want to have your kitchen roll. See if I can get some more of that out there. I spilled a little bit there. Okay, so what we've got then, again, just show you a bit closer, this clip thing here is what we need to remove now. Just looks like a clip, think it needs spread out either way. So we'll get a pair of pliers, you'll hopefully do a job for that. Alright, so hopefully we can just kind of get these in here and pull this apart. Ah, there we go, it's pushing up. Just seems to kind of push off or something really, actually. Dropped it. Should have taken a picture of this before I did it, to be honest, to make sure I could remember how it goes on, but it didn't look that difficult. I think that just pulls off now. Fuel everywhere. So yeah, I mean, as you can really see how critical this is, you know, something goes wrong with this part of the bike, fuel everywhere. Last thing you want anywhere near a hot engine. So yeah, glad that I spotted this, because that would have been like catastrophic, absolutely catastrophic. No doubt about it. Could have been an absolute disaster. You know, the bike could have been in flames. So yeah, really glad to have seen that before it was too late. All right, there we go, nice and tight. And then so this just goes back onto the bottom of the tank. And I think what I did, if you can see here, I'll go a bit closer again. I think what I've done, I've put the tank back on, and then I've like kind of crushed this beneath the tank. You know, this is the bottom of it here, and that's what's caused that little nip. So you know, when I put this back on now, that's what we're going to need to prevent. Sometimes can't even remember where I put the whole tank. Right then, so what's the best way to go about this? Sometimes these clips can be a bit of a nightmare, but generally a pair of pliers will sort them out. There we go. Then we want to get a little electronic thing back on there, and then get this back on. This has got this little doodad that came with it as a new part. And then you can see here there's not a whole lot of room to work with these, so it's quite short. But yeah, that goes on there, and it clips on like that. Now what I need to do here, just make sure this is well out of the way this time when I get this back on. So front bit goes in there. Now you can see there, when I was putting that back on, I'll just hopefully get that camera in there, when I'm putting that tank back on, this is the bit we're talking about, and you can see there how close it is to this bracket and how easy it is to get pinched. And I think, you know, that's what I've done. I've put the tank back on, this has been against this, or it's been against here or something, and that's what's caused that kink. So we need to be really careful now, in particular putting this back on, because don't want to get that fixed and then do exactly the same thing again. So let's just make sure that it's under there, in there, and well out of the way. I'm going to put this back on. Yeah, that's much better. This bolt goes across there, out the other side, and just screws on. There we go. So yeah, that was quite a nice easy job, to be honest. Wasn't too difficult at all. As I said before, you're really happy I spotted that. If I hadn't seen that, eventually, sooner or later, maybe not soon, you know, maybe not tomorrow, but sometime, that line would have started leaking petrol, and it would have been leaking all over the hot engine, and it would have burst into flames. As I said before, completely my fault. I mean, 100%, no one else to blame here but me. So let's just get that straight. But yeah, just really happy that I saw it before it was too late, so that's really good. While we're here, just have a little look at the R6 and how well it's coming along. Check it out. Really looking really good now. You can see in the cockpit area here, I've got these nice new grips. Everything's pretty clean in here as well. This looks much nicer. You want to see the state of this when it was new. Done a lot of cleaning under here as well. This was all covered in just grime. It was really minging. Yeah, so it's looking really well. Really happy with it. Like, not a whole lot more to do. Making good progress. So yeah, happy days. There we go. Thanks for watching once again. Just a nice little easy bit of maintenance this time. Triumph's still going absolutely fantastic, as I haven't had it out that much, you know, because of the weather and everything. But I did get it out for a short spin the other day to test out the new exhaust. It's a bit loud, but not really because of the can, but more because of that the baffle's kind of corroded. So going to be getting a new baffle for it at some point, I guess. But you know, okay for the time being. Weather's looking pretty good for tomorrow, so hopefully going to get out on one bike or the other. Not the R6 obviously, but the mountain bike might get a little run out tomorrow with a bit of luck, or if not, then I'm certainly the Scrambler will. So yeah, it's really nice to see the sun again and have a bit of good weather, because the weather's been really bad recently, really grim and really depressing. So there you have it. Thanks again for watching and tuning in again for this little episode. I'll see you again soon. Take care.